Part 1. Do you like traveling?
Yes, I really enjoy traveling. It feels like a form of healing for me because it improves my mental health and gives me a deeper understanding of the world. When I meet new people on my journeys, I can learn about their lives and struggle, and that always makes me more appreciative toward life.
What kind of holidays do you prefer?
My favorite type of holiday is traveling. Sometimes I find answers to my personal questions simply by being on the road. I enjoy the minimalist lifestyle of traveling, where I only bring what I really need and plan my budget carefully. That efficiency makes the whole journey meaningful, and I want to bring that same efficiency into my everyday life.
Do you prefer to travel alone or with others?
When I was younger, I usually traveled alone. Solo traveling was simple because I only had to think about myself, and it helped me understand myself better. But now that I'm married, I always travel with my wife and my son. Traveling as a group is much more complex because every detail has to be considered, especially with children. It's less flexible but also more rewarding because we create memories together as a family.
Do you enjoy holidays with friends or family?
Honestly, it depends on who I travel with. If the people understand how to manage a trip, it becomes enjoyable. But if they are not comfortable with the lifestyle of traveling or are poorly prepared, I don't enjoy it at all. In that case, I usually prefer not to travel with them.
How often do you go on holidays?
At the moment, not very often. Maybe 2 or 3 times a year. The reason is that most of my holidays are family trips, which require a lot of planning. If things go wrong, the whole holiday can become stressful. That's why I try to keep it limited and make sure every trip is well prepared.
Do you prefer domestic or international travel?
I personally prefer domestic travel. I live in Indonesia, and Indonesia is such a beautiful and diverse country. The people, the culture, the food, and the scenery are all unique. I traveled to Aceh, Medan, Lake Toba, Jambi, etc. And I feel like I haven't seen enough. For me, Indonesia itself is already a world worth exploring.
Part 2. Describe a memorable trip you had. You should say where you went, who you went with, what you did there, and explain why it was memorable.
One of the most memorable trips I've ever had was to Yogyakarta, a cultural city in Java, Indonesia. I went there about a year ago with my wife and my young son, just after I recovered from an illness. So the trip felt like a celebration of my recovery. We explored many cultural and historical sites, such as the Yogyakarta Palace and most importantly, Borobudur Temple. Borobudur Temple is actually not in Yogyakarta. It is located in Magelang and a few hours away from Yogyakarta city. When we went to Borobudur Temple, we had to wake up very early to avoid the heavy holiday traffic. And when we finally saw Borobudur, I was amazed by its beauty and the detailed carving that tells stories from centuries ago. Besides the temples, we also visited Malioboro Street, which is famous for local food and handicrafts. We walked around, test traditional dishes like gudeg, bought small souvenirs, and even rode a horse-drawn carriage. What made the trip so special was not just the destinations, but the feeling I had throughout the journey. After recovering from my illness, every little detail felt like a blessing. The warm atmosphere of the city, the friendliness of the people, the richness of the culture, and especially the things I did with my family, and the love, the smiles, everything. It was such an unforgettable memory.
Part 3. Why do people like to travel?
I think people travel to escape their routines and to experience something new. Travel satisfies our curiosity about the world and help us see life from different perspective. It can also change the way we think about our own lives.
Do you think traveling is more about relaxation or education?
In my opinion, it's both. Traveling is relaxing because you leave your daily responsibilities behind, but it's also educational because you learn things no classroom can teach. For example, how people live, how cultures develop, or how history is reflected in architecture. Personally, I value the educational side more because the lessons stay with me long after the holiday is over.
How has tourism changed compared to the past?
Tourism has become much more accessible, I think. In the past, it was something only rich people could do, but now with budget airlines, online bookings, and social media, almost anyone can travel. And on the downside, tourism today is often commercialized, which sometimes reduces authenticity. But at the same time, there is a positive trend of sustainable tourism where people want to travel responsibly and protect the environment.
Do you think international travel will become more popular in the future?
Yes, I think it will. The world is becoming more connected, and people are naturally curious to explore other cultures. But the way people travel will change. Instead of only sightseeing, people will choose ecotourism, volunteering, or cultural exchange because they want their trips to have a positive impact.
Do you think children benefit from traveling?
Absolutely. Children gain a lot from traveling. They learn tolerance by meeting people who live differently, and they also develop flexibility. Because travel doesn't always go as planned, there are practical life skills that they can always learn in school. Even a short trip can broaden their horizons and spark their curiosity.